All right, man. It's kind of awesome. I get to bring up this next speaker. I actually got to meet him earlier, talk to him backstage. He's clearly, one of the best-looking kids on the team. He's single, ladies, so, follow him on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And I've kind of talked to some of his downline, too, and they always say how helpful this kid is. Whether it be 6 p.m. or 6 a.m., he's always by his phone, ready to take calls, ready to drive for home events. The kid's absolutely grinding, an animal in this company. Another representative of Maine. Is Maine in the building? I don't know. Are they there? Yeah. Starting to notice a trend here with all these people from Maine. All right, so everybody give a big round of applause for Mr. Sam Butts.
Last name ever, first name greatest. Like a sprained ankle, boy, ain't nothing to play with. Started off local, but thanks to all the haters, I know G4 pilots on a first name basis. In your city, faded off the ground. Nino, she insists she got more class. We know. Swimming in the
thank you guys. There's a long story to the nickname Stallion, so I won't get into that. I only got 6 minutes. So my name is Sam Butts, 22 years old from Saco, Maine. When I was first exposed to this, I got to admit I had no expectations. Okay, I really had no idea of this industry. Didn't know what type of vehicle this would be for my life. And to be honest with you, why would I? I'm going to graduate with a 4.0 in college. I already got into grad school. That's what my life is going, right? Easily predicted outcome. But I'll tell you what, I did get excited about one thing, that I could possibly use this to not have to work my summer job that I had for 8 years, okay? I was a short order line cook. That's right, ladies, I can cook. You see those up there? Yeah. So I got excited about that. But I decided that I was going to go full-time this summer, okay? And what I saw was something I've never seen before. Confidence. Like, wow. It's something I saw myself. I was switching from what I saw as the dependent stage to the dependable stage. And here's what I mean. When you're dependent, when you're first starting on for this business, you're depending on somebody else, okay, to inspire you, to educate you. But when you switch to that dependable state, you're becoming a leader. And it's because you're becoming more dependable on yourself, as far as I can inspire myself, I can motivate myself, I can grow myself by applying everything that I learned in the early stages, but I can also do that for others. And that's where this is very, very crucial, and what I want to touch on, okay? Is growing, when you're growing a team, that's the most important thing. This whole system is based off of duplication. We've talked about it. I've heard duplication so many times in the last 2 days, and that's what this whole system is based off of. So it's great that I can come into my own, become a dependable leader, but how can I cause, team interdependence into a whole network, okay? So that's one of my favorite parts of this. Obviously there's the being your own boss, financial freedom, time freedom, right? But what I got out of this is I get to build this with my best friends. I get to do this with the people I chose to do this. And a lot of you guys can relate to this. I'm going to tell you the first story when I first heard about this in this house. I was actually sitting on 2 bed mattresses in my first meeting, giving a can that I knew better than to drink, right? Because I know everything, right? But what I heard was, hey, open your mind, because a closed mind is the most expensive thing you can own in this economy. I'm like, okay, I'll listen at least. And the next thing he said, kind of put me in awe. And I'm sure a lot of you guys, if this is the first time you're hearing this, you're probably in awe right now. But for your first exposure, you guys were all in awe of seeing what was going on. Okay? And when I walked out of there, I said, wow, I have a few people clicking in my brain already, and there's a reason for that. So this is what I look for in people, and I'll call it the awe factor. I don't have a slide, so bear with me, but it's 3 simple letters, okay? A, W, and E. Okay, and they stand for something. The first one is A. And what I call that is adversity strengths. I look for adversity strengths in people because there's no doubt or question about it that there's going to be the ups and the downs of the business, right? Okay, and the most successful people in this business aren't successful because they were able to avoid those setbacks or failures. It was because they were able to rebound more and faster from those failures and setbacks than anybody else. Okay, and that's something I really look for, because I want somebody with a mentality that if I quit today, tomorrow my life would have changed for the better. And that leads me right into my W of awe, okay, is why. We've talked about this so much. Why? If you don't have a reason why, what are you going to get done? Not in VMA, but in life in general. You need to have something that's driving you. I want people who have a clear why, a defined why. And the last one is ego. And now ego gets a bad rap sometimes, okay? But I see it as a good thing. I just see it as a relationship between, the self-confidence someone has and his or her actual ability and skills, okay? And in other words, I'm talking about swag, right? Yeah. And that a lot of you guys can relate to that more. But swag, all right? And what I really mean by that is, if I have someone who thinks they're less capable of doing something, it's more likely that they set their target and goals lower because they don't know what they're capable of doing. I was in fault of that. I honestly didn't have the confidence. I didn't have enough confidence that I really should have. But once I started going, I look for this in people because it's the people who can have that swag, have that sense of confidence. And confidence is a skill because you can practice it over and over and over again. I couldn't even speak in front of 14 people. Now look where I am. Now I want to find that in other people, okay? And what I also realized is while I was looking for this in other people, I had to be that myself because you can only attract the leaders that you are. You have to become the leader that you want to attract. All right? So that past summer, and this is something we can do right now, you got to make the decision. You got to make the decision that you're never going to hold back. That you're not going to let nerves, you're not going to let doubt, you're not going to let any of that thing hold you back. That you're going to go all in, you're going to go all out, okay? And all in seems to be the theme of the weekend. People helping people obviously is the theme, but I keep hearing all in. So here's what I want to do to finish it out, okay? I'm going to count down to 3, and I want every single person to say all in. All right, as loud as you can, because this is a new year. This is a new you. This is a new opportunity, okay? So when I get to 3, all in. We're going to do this a couple times, all right? On 3. 1, 2, 3. All in. Again, let's go. All in. One more, let's go. A little late. But let's make this the year that we go all in. So I want to thank you guys. I really appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of the speakers, guys.